SWF. It's been a while. I've missed a couple of shows. Got caught up on all the action though. So here's the deal. I was sitting at the house the other night and I catch this podcast. Comes across my feed. Some of the SWF boys talking about previous shows, talking about this, talking about that. A lot talked about in a small amount of time. Which brings me to my first order of business. I'm listening to said podcast and I hear Johnny Power, and he said something along the lines of, if I'm not quoting exactly, Victor Morbius is a shell of the man he once was. I kind of chuckled. I did. But at the same time, statements like that, they rub me all the wrong ways. Johnny boy, I don't know what kind of man you think I am. I don't know what kind of man you think you are. I can guarantee you that I have forgotten more about this business called professional wrestling than most of your guys have ever learned. I'm not the biggest, I'm not the baddest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the strongest, but I guarantee you there's nothing in your little bag of tricks that I can't handle one-on-one. And therein lies the problem. You boast about your guys and this and that and the Colton Keiths of the world and your little precious kingdom. Yet, I have never had the opportunity, nay, the pleasure of being in the ring with any of them one-on-one. It's so strange how that happens. Me and Colton, face to face, and then all of a sudden, it's 1-on-4. Everybody saw how that happened. That was my fault. I underestimated them. Colton Keith took something that belongs to me, and I want it back. Here's the deal. I challenge you, Johnny. No, not to a fight. I would stretch you until you were 3 inches taller and send you to the emergency room. No questions asked. I challenge you, Johnny, to find me an opponent. Your best. Reach into your little bag of tricks and send me someone to beat up. Whether it be August 31st, whether it be in September, whether it be at the Halloween bash, I care not. Because it seems to me that your little kingdom has been dodging Victor Morbius in all the wrong ways. Your king, Colton. See, this is a tricky one. July, there was a wrestling show. Victor Morbius was booked in said wrestling show. I'm at the gym. I get jumped. By whom, I still don't know. Colton doesn't take responsibility for anything he's ever done. But I just can't shake the feeling that it was your little punks. Fast forward, August 17th, charity show. Do you even lift? So I go out to my truck to go to the show, 4 flat tires. Can you believe my luck? And I'm like, no freaking way. My question, though, is why would Colton Keith and said kingdom travel across state lines to come to me, to stop me from getting to a show that we're not even booked to wrestle against each other. It's driving me nuts. Do I believe him when he says that he will go to any means necessary to keep that title? Yeah, I believe him. This seems a little far-fetched. I'll get to the bottom of it, though. Always do. In the meantime, that brings me August 31st. Here's the deal, gentlemen. I'm not booked. I called SWF management. I called Rich Fortune. I called Johnny Power. And I said Victor Morbius is going to be in the SWF arena on August 31st. Victor Morbius does not have an opponent. And they all said the same thing. You were booked 2 previous shows and you didn't show up. And now we have a problem. Someone is messing with not only my reputation, my appearances, and my money. Rich Fortune knows all about the money. So, August 31st, Victor Morbius will indeed be in the SWF arena. And I don't care if it's Phoenix. I don't care if it's the assassin Robert Gray. I don't care if it's Dusty James. I don't care if it's Colton Keith. I don't care if it's Damian Sport or Tyson Sport or Mike Grizzly or the general manager Bobby Babbitt. I don't care. Don't care. Put your name on the dotted line, boys, and I will be there doing what I do best. It is time that I remind everyone in that locker room who I am. It is time that I remind Johnny Power who I am. It may be time for me to remind myself of who I am. No matter, all that means is someone is going to be reminded what it means to have a very morbid experience.